Alrighty, so I want to start this channel, this playlist of videos documenting me really locking in and focusing on being a better day trader. I spent the past couple years dabbling with options. My forte is really fundamental bottom-up stock picking, but I really would like to get better at trading. And so I've spent the past couple weeks really diving into a lot of the fundamentals, market review, confluences, market structure, all these things to try and learn. And I know this is going to be a long road ahead to become a profitable trader. But I do believe that my work ethic and my discipline will help me to become that. So I've spent this week, after I did a bunch of journaling and whatever and videos over the past week and a half, I spent this week basically live trading. And to just give you a little bit of background, I don't want to do sim trades for this reason. I'm not nervous when I'm doing sim trades. I'm not feeling the feelings that I feel when I'm in live trades. And a lot of that overcoming emotion and having the discipline is like a big thing, I believe, for being a good trader. So I do want to put my money on the line with this. With that being said, I'm taking it very conservative. I'm in the sense that I'm not using a lot of dollar amount. So I'm trying to keep max losses to, $50 a day kind of range, maybe 100 if I start taking a little more risk. But really, I'm basically taking, what I have done this past week is I'm basically just taking like 1 or 2 zero-day option contracts and just trying to trade the S&P 500. I'm going to focus on one index. I'm going to try and use the NASDAQ to help with, SMT divergences and stuff, but I'm still very new to that. And so that alone is just going to help limit my losses, but also give me enough skin in the game to where I feel the feelings and everything. A lot of the mistakes that I realized I've made this week have just been, like emotion-based, panicking and all the things that come with that. I've gotten stopped out of a number of trades, so I'm still trying to figure out the right risk reward and all of that. And I'm not going to increase my trade sizes until I believe that I am confident and profitable and all of that. And I will slowly increase that. I do believe this will take months, years to get where I want to be. And so that's kind of where we're at today. I've done the past 4 days. Today's Thursday. I've done the past 4 days and lost. I went 0 for 3 on some trades and lost $60 total. I went 2 for 3 and lost $3. I went 2-0 and won 13. One of those was an option contract on a stock that I'm long. So I kind of don't really count that because I really want to just focus on my ability to trade SPY. And then 0-3 today for a loss of $44. And I don't believe that I will be taking more than 3 to 5 trades max. I'm trying to limit it to even just like 3 a day, especially if they're like 0-3 days. I'm not going to revenge trade. I've done that when I first started, and it was like I would just continue to trade, take bigger trades, take riskier trades, and that's not what I'm focused on now. I'm not focused on making my money back. I'm focused on developing a skill that is going to make that's going to make me good and profitable trader over the long term. And so yeah, I'm just going to start documenting this and some of my trade reviews. And it's interesting, like yesterday I only took 1 trade on the S&P 500, and then I'm also watching like TJR, who is another trader. He does these market reviews where he goes over like while he's live trading, like what he's seeing and how it plays out. And it was interesting because yesterday I had relatively the same pattern recognition coming into the day, like what the daily profile was. And so that was cool. And then he actually had the opposite and didn't make money, lost money. And so that was cool that like maybe I thought, oh, I read the market a little better than someone who's doing this like professionally and has made millions of dollars doing it. And then today I was very happy with my ability to look at Asian session, London session, and see the daily profile coming into this, seeing, marking out highs and lows, marking out fair value gaps, and, kind of where I would expect price to go today. And it actually really did play out. I do have a hard time finding entries. That is my biggest thing, and confidence around those entries. And so, yeah, we've got a lot to work on, but this is the beginning. So today is July 30th. It's FOMC meeting day at noon, so normally wouldn't trade this day. My pre-market bias coming into today was, well, it was kind of hard to figure out because looking at the Asian session, it looked like there was kind of a reversal. Then when London session started, a bit of like a manipulation and then continuation. But it was hard for me to tell if like I considered that a real reversal or not, or if it was just kind of consolidation. So ended up like, look, is that a real reversal, or is that just consolidation? But then we got manipulation and continuation. So I think that was a reversal. Then coming into New York session, this is the 30-minute, so we'll go down to 5. Coming into New York session, pre-market open, so volume picked up. We had a bit of a little sweeper down here of the pre-market lows, and that's the it's hard for me to tell if like that was the manipulation or if this is the manipulation and then we get continuation to the downside. The other thing that I'm considering is the fact that it's FOMC day, so it could just be choppy in this range like all day. But anyways, I took a call right away off this, and I'll zoom in here. I took a call right away off this, pretty much this sweep of the pre-market low, and I just risked it for the biscuit. And I set my stop loss like down here because I was pretty aggressive with it, and ended up getting it to come up here. I should have closed it there, but I couldn't figure out the button because I'm a noob. And anyways, it chopped around a bit, and I think I got out a little bit above break even, because once I saw this, I guess that isn't necessarily a break of structure there. I think it was like a break of structure here to the downside. Anyways, and then you saw, and so really what I should have waited for was there's the sweep. I should have saw it come back down into some fair value gap here, and that would have been a better entry with my stop maybe could have been. Anyways, I probably should have just entered down here and then caught this move, because ultimately that was my target area, was these pre-market highs, but I didn't know where to enter at, and so then got confused. But if you look at the 5-minute, it looks a little easier to tell, because you really get the break of structure here to this high, candle close here, and then that move up. So I was trying to find this range on the 1-minute, and if you do that, you see, I think it was somewhere around here, you get this break of structure here to the upside. So over this candle, that previous high, really showing if there was a downtrend, which I don't believe there was, up, that's down, choppy, then this indicator here could have entered here with a stop loss around here or here if you want to be really aggressive, and hoped for that move higher. So anyways, pre-market bias was good. It did what I thought. It moved up to the pre-market highs, chopped around a bit, because if it wants to go back down, that's where pre-market highs up here. That's where the more of the liquidity to the sell side will be, where they can get orders filled and move lower. And then we came down all the way to the pre-market lows. And this is a fair value gap that I marked, I want to say, on the 1 hour or something like that. Maybe it was the 4 hour. No, it wouldn't have been that. So it was the 30-minute. Now I can't even remember. And maybe well, either way, we filled that gap now. So that's over. But that's my trade for the day. All right, so looking at the charts today on July 31st, I saw a continuation in the Asian session. I saw continuation in the Asian session from this after FOMC into a manipulation and reversal in London session coming into New York session. I mapped out this fair value gap down here. I think that was on like the 4 hour, and this fair value gap on the 5. My bias coming in is bearish. It ripped right down off the start. I don't know if we're going to jump off this buy side fair value gap and hit this one and come back down, because there's got to be some type of manipulation coming into this session, or if we're just going to sell off. I'm not really sure. I'm looking for an entry. This is how the 1 minute looks. Keep you guys posted. Okay, so we saw it go into the fair value gap and move up, but wow, I'm an idiot. Oh no, yeah, I'm an idiot. There's no fair value gap there. I think maybe it was a 3 minute fair value gap. Let me look. A 3 minute fair value gap? Yeah. So that's what I entered on, this 3 minute bearish fair value gap, and got stopped out like right here. So, well, 3 minute fair value gap, bearish fair value gap, got in like here, stopped out here. So, yeah. So after some review, I took a third trade when I thought, basically I got stopped out of the first one, but still thought the direction was going to go in the right direction and in the bearish direction. So I took another put. Right as I took the put, I kind of scrambled and panicked because for whatever reason I couldn't tell if the position got filled or if I accidentally sold a put or something. And so I tried closing something, and then I accidentally closed the stop loss. And so then I really started to panic because these are 0-day options. And long story short, I closed the position to lose $5, but the direction ended up actually being correct, like for sure correct. You can see here in the 5 minute, we did indeed get the sell off. Basically, I entered like here. We did indeed get the sell off, and even coming down and breaking these lows. So that's super disappointing, to have the direction right. And really it's just like trade execution that was holding me back, and panicking and being afraid and all that. And so that's all stuff I can work on. Like, I feel like the fact that I was able to pick the direction and, know and not get faked out. Like, I don't think I did not take calls on this move here. Like, coming into the market today, I 100% thought continuation to the downside, despite good numbers and all this. We did gap up and all that, and so something that I'm considering too is like a lot of these, my entries are not very good. I don't know if I have the right signals or not, or the confluences, and I'm basically like getting stopped out on just like what I would basically call like tick, just like bouncing around, not even like real the move yet. And so what I'm wondering is if I should not do 0 day because of the volatility, and maybe I should look to do like 2 day or two, or maybe like 1 day to expiration or 2 day to expiration, just to have like less volatility. Yeah, it'll cost me more in premium, but it might save me as far as just like not hitting the stop loss. And also just, yeah, I mean, and looking at the dollar amount, like it wouldn't be a whole lot different. I think like, I don't, right now, I don't want to lose more than like, $20 kind of from my stop loss. But, man, that is just so disappointing that that move actually happened. And I was supposed to be in that. But anyways, we're still learning. And yeah, so I could have wider stop losses and lose the same amount, or like relatively like my max amount. And that might be a better move for me right now until I feel like I can get better entries and like have more confidence in my entries and then better entries. Yeah, so because I'm not really trying to necessarily do scalps, I'm trying to do more actual day trades, which should take like, potentially 30 minutes to an hour or more. And like I wanted to catch that big move, not just this first drop of this one candle. It's like I wanted to catch that whole move. And so that's what I'm considering and might need to do. But we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted. 7:31 out. Okay, so today is August 1st. This is finishing up the first week of basically tracking my trades and everything. And I wanted to talk to you about this morning. So I didn't have enough time to, look at kind of the S&P and the pre-market and everything because I had cardio because I'm still a bodybuilder. But I did have some time to kind of scan the pre-market penny stocks, and there were two that I put on my watch list. And basically this was the one that I liked kind of the most, just off rip. I don't know. So I saw this kind of stuff happening pre-market. I marked out these, like what I would call the pre-market lows on the 5 minute after the massive, Shrek candle upward. And, saw it kind of retrace down here to that level at the open, a nice big candle up. I think I played this twice, so I'm trying to remember exactly where I played it the first time for a quick in and out. I think I might have scalped like in here on this little 1 minute retrace a bit and had like a quick 5% gain on that scalp there. And then otherwise I like didn't know if it was going to break these highs or kind of reject off there and go back down. So I was happy that I just scalped that. But then when I saw it break that pretty good, my thought process was, well, I can't chase it. It'll probably, come down and retrace or whatever. So these are 1 minute candles now. And from what I understand, this is like a bull flag. And so I was very patient because on all of these, I was expecting it to just, boom, want to continue to go up. So I was thankful that it actually like gave me this setup. And yeah, was very patient. A lot of the time I would enter here and then panic sell down here. On this one, I waited patiently, even past this candle, which at one point, looked like it was up here, way past this, but I waited for it to close, and it was not a 1 minute break of structure over this candle. So I literally waited until this candle closed, and it was a break of structure over this to the upside. At least I believe that's a break of structure. And then I entered somewhere around here. I think I got in at like 162 or 163 and was able to make a 10% scalp up to like 178. I sold at market up here. So literally a 15-second scalp for 10% right there. And I think I got like a 5% over there. I wasn't trading with a lot of money because, again, I'm having some execution issues with like smashing the orders, like, and then having to cancel stop losses and take profits and all this and working out the settings on the app. But anyways, I placed this on the app or on the desktop app, and then I went to my phone to basically sell and hit, sell at market. In hindsight, if I was more confident and all of that, I would have probably sold 75% and then let 25% kind of continue to run. But I really didn't know, if it was going to break these highs again or not or what. I mean, the momentum did seem strong. And then obviously you can see it did carry up pretty high, up to like 250 some. But for me, that's all I was looking for, a little breakout, and then sold. Looking at it on the 5-minute here. So I'm happy about that. I'm green on the day. I'm going to be done. And that was what that was right there. So yeah, you can see continued higher for sure. I played basically this breakout up to like there or something. But yeah, definitely left a lot on the table there. That just comes from lack of experience and all that. But I was very happy with my execution and being patient for the setup and all that stuff. Almost feel like this thing could go again, but I don't know. The volume's kind of coming down. It's later in the day, and I'm green, so I don't want to trade again because I don't want to have a losing day. I had only one positive trading day this week, and so I want to end the week on a good note. It's Friday. I will do a lot more research and work over the weekend, and we will level up. So that is it for this first week of trading. Recapping yesterday, after journaling and looking at things, I think that the stop losses on the 0 day are kind of an issue because they bounce around so much just on like small moves that I get stopped out a lot, and then the move kind of plays out in my favor anyway. So I need to rethink that. Do I make the stop loss bigger? Do I just get rid of it? Also, the take profits, like I need to figure out if I just want to, be able to hit sell at market, on my phone or what. So working out those execution kinks, but overall, definitely learned a lot this week. Felt like I got a lot of experience this week alone, and so I'm happy with that, and we're going to keep it going.
Yo, what up? So looking back at some of my trades from this week and things that I learned, I mentioned it before, but I don't like the fact that the options contracts decay like hard a lot in 0 day options, especially because I don't know exactly how long the move's going to play out, and even just like a couple hours, those decay if you just like chop around and stuff. And that's why I think a lot of these traders do the futures, because they can just buy and sell those outright and not be using like derivatives. So I'm still trying to figure out like maybe what platform to use for futures, or if that's something I should do, or how much capital really I need to make sure I can do that, like and it be efficient, I guess would be the right word. I'm still considering a lot on the options piece. Do I try a couple days out, a week out when trading SPY, or how do I kind of manage for that? Talking with my friend, I did learn a lot about, maybe stop losses and take profits and how I should maybe think about that. I also need to figure out proper risk reward, for the instrument that I'm using and the trade that I'm taking. And is it a scalp? Is it a full kind of day trade that maybe takes a little while to play out? So there's so many things that I need to learn more about. SMT divergences, that whole thing, the equilibrium. I've just seen some people do some analysis, and I can tell there's a lot of concepts that I'm missing that I need to learn more about. So that's one thing. Another thing is looking back since I videoed some of my trades, I'll see something and think something's happening, but really on another time frame or another instance, it won't be happening, right? I'll think, oh, that's a fair value gap that it just jumped into. We should see a reversal here, but really it was a break of structure to the upside, and you're probably not going to see any bearish move after that. So I'm glad that I'm doing this, and I think it's going to be really helpful for me. In the past, I used to just do way too much with no rhyme or reason, just a feeling, oh, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. I would take way too big of positions and just not really focus on the skill, the discipline, having a system, a strategy. Obviously, you can see my trying to figure out kind of where I belong as far as strategy goes with instrument, and is it options? Is it penny stocks? Is it swing options? I don't really know all that, but I know that there's plenty of concepts within trading alone that I still need to learn before I need to find a niche, if that makes sense. So there's still a lot of practice I can do. I'm going to spend this weekend trying to learn up on some of those, research some of those concepts, and get back at it another week. I was really happy with my discipline, though, this week. I didn't feel like, outside of, being a little nervous in some trades when I accidentally canceled the stop loss and I'm in 0-day contracts and I'm panicking, can't figure out how to sell. Those are all just execution things that I know I can get better at, and be smoother at with time on these brokers and stuff, and just repetition, But I was really happy with the discipline, limiting, how many trades I made, not getting crazy with the sizing, and, still keeping risk in mind, while I'm learning. So overall, fairly happy with it. And yeah, I'll maybe try to keep taking videos of stuff and do one once a week, or, one or two a month. I don't really know what this is going to look like, but I know I do want to make a dedicated kind of effort for it. I do have a lot of interest. In the past, I felt like I lacked a lot of discipline and actually the work that it's going to take to get better. And I was more just hoping and dreaming that I would get better by, taking random ass trades. And I just don't think that really happens. I think, so I'm spending the dedicated time that's needed, and think, I've seen in other areas of my life, hard work pays off over time. So I want to apply that to this, and it's going to pay off. I'm going to be a profitable trader, and much more than that. But that's what I'm at least willing to kind of say at this point. And last thing, I think I kind of messed up the review of the week. So there was 2 days that I was profitable and 3 days that I was not. The biggest loss this week was only, relative terms, $59. I had another day that was minus $40. I had a positive $13 day, and a positive $27 day, and a minus $3 day. So I think netted it out, it was minus $66 or something around there. So that's how the first week ended. Max trades I took in one day was 5. The least I took in one day was 2. That is the recap. Hopefully it's only up from here, but I know we need to take more L's to learn. So we're going to also encourage that, and keep risk management as a forefront of the process as we learn. And yeah, optimistic. So